Hey everybody, thank you for joining me. So we're doing another video that's part of the crop that my little scrapbook store did. I want to say it was the first Saturday, so it was the 1st of August. And the all the challenges are open until I want to say the 24th for you to turn it in. So I'm going to be sharing this one. It's a layout, a sketch with Heather's Crafty Life. And this is my take on it using the Fresh Bouquet Scrappy bag. And I'm going to start off by cutting, I want to say I cut it at 4 inches, a 4-inch strip to go right along the top. And then I was thinking that I would use either this black and white or maybe the polka dot side. I like the black and white flowers, but I think it was too much contrast. So I think I'm just going to use that pink polka dot side because it's a little bit more subtle, but there's still some difference. And what I'm doing now is I'm actually going through my Kiwi Lane templates, and I was looking for the scallop borders, and I couldn't find them right away. So I pulled out this chevron one, and I pulled them out just to see the different sizes. And I just wasn't sure. I was like, I think if I use a chevron, it may show too much of the line, and I still want to kind of cover that line of the other paper. So I put these back in, and I'm like, I know I have the scallop border. So let me pull my container back over and keep looking through. I looked at this new template that came out. It's sort of like a border for your borders. I'll explain better if I hope to use them in a video in a little while, but it's a new template that Kiwi Lane just came out with, and then I found them finally. So I knew I wanted to go with the smallest one because I wanted as many of the scallops as I could. So the bigger one was just too big because the 3 just isn't enough. And so I turn it over, and I'm going to grab a pencil, and I'm going to trace it on the back side. So that way when I cut it, if there's any pencil left, you won't see it on the front. And it just makes it easier. And like I've said in previous videos, I am not the best fussy cutter. I know the whole idea is like you hold your scissor and you move the paper. In theory, it's great. In reality, it doesn't always work that way. At least it doesn't for me. I always find like I'm moving the scissors and I'm like, I'm not supposed to do that. I know how to do this, and I still don't. But once I'm done, I just grab, I think I always grab my black soot, and I'm just going around the edges. I just do it lightly, as light as I can. This is going to help for 2 things. It's going to help cover up my poor cutting abilities, and it's going to help separate it from the pattern paper because my bottom paper is pink. And with this being pink as well, it could easily, blend away. So I'm going around all 4 edges so that way it definitely stands out. And then the 3 edges that are out for this blue paper, I went around that edge as well. And I like how that looks. So now it seems like it's kind of popping up off. So it has really good definition. And then on the back side of that paper, I decided that I wanted to use it for my photo map, which we'll do here in a second. So when you're not doing mixed media, and you're just doing a really pretty layout, very simple, I love it because it starts to come together really fast, So since I knew for sure that was staying where it was going, I go ahead and attach that. There was a little bit on the edge that was hanging over, so I am going to try and clean up my edge. I think I wind up grabbing my big shears to kind of trim off that 1/8 of an inch, just like an 1/8 of an inch on the side. Yeah. And using the shears, it's great because they're so long, it's easier to keep it as straight as possible if you're trying to make a trim like that. Okay, so now we're going to move that out of the way. And I knew I wanted to use this ephemera piece for my side journaling bit. And as of this moment, I'm doing the voiceover. The layout is done, and I still haven't journaled. I'm telling you guys, it's a sickness. I just have such a hard time journaling sometimes, but I leave it there. So when I get the gumption to do it, I'll be able to write my little message to myself. Because I'm using two photos. They're two selfies. One that I took, I just gotten my hair done and I was in the car. Like, I can't even remember what year it was. But I just thought it was like, I loved how the sunlight was coming from behind. It almost looked like a glow. And it's the photo I use on all my social media stuff. And then I took a picture of myself with a new mask that I got that has the word faith on it. And I thought, how funny. Like nowadays, back in the day, we could take pictures without the mask, and now you have masks. So I just wanted to document this moment in time for me. And the selfie with the mask just seemed to go. So that's also going to tie into our title, which is going to be Now and Then. So right now I'm just going to attach my photo to our matte paper here. And it leaves about, I would say, 1/4 of an inch all around. That's what I've measured to, I think, give me a nice border around both photos. And it still be in a nice position as far as the layout itself. And I'm just taking a little bit of the tape runner and putting some wet glue because I just want to make sure it's definitely down. And then I started thinking, okay, so what colors, what am I going to use for my border at the top, and what papers am I going to use underneath the photo? I was looking at that. That's too thin. I just wasn't feeling it. And then I realized, oh yeah, I got some jupe on my desk and I have like 3 different sizes. So I'm thinking maybe I'll just go around the top part with the jupe. I'm like, okay, that would be perfect. Because down at the bottom of your 3 pieces of paper, there's like, basically it looks like either baker's twine or some type of twine that's wrapped around, and then there's a little bow. So I'm thinking, oh, that would be tied in. I would have some of that, and then I'll put some at the top, and it'll be a great way to finish off the look. Well, you'll see what happens in a little bit. All right, so I'm measuring like kind of the length that I want my strip to be. And for these strips, I measured 2 inches in width, and then I just cut the full length of the 12 by 12 paper, and then I'm trimming them down to different lengths. Because I knew, like there were certain, I didn't want it to be too long. I wanted it to look very similar to the actual sketch. But I also wanted to make sure, because if you look closely, I know it's hard to see it on this little spot here, but if you're at the beginning, pause it. The 3 strips of paper that go behind the photo mat, they're different lengths. So one is up higher, one is shorter, and then it's that way on the bottom part too. So I just cut them at different lengths where I felt like they would most line up. And at first I really wasn't sure how I was going to layer them. I liked the 2 pinks. I like that way. I was going to use the other, but that side, it's not going to work. Only because the flowers up at the top is, So I think I keep winding up going like all different directions. And then how do I, oh no, that's definitely not good. So I think this is actually the order that it winds up staying in. And then now I'm going to just work on getting my layers kind of figured out, like which one's going to be higher, which one's going to be in the middle, on the outside. And I'm sorry I keep messing with my phone because the photo of the actual sketch is on there, and I'm trying to make sure I have it where I kind of need it to be. And then I'm going to measure up, and I'm going to shorten the pink one and then go up a little higher, I think it is, and I do the blue. And I'm just marking where I have it on the paper because I want to make sure I put it back in the same spot. And then we're going to straighten that as much as we can and then finish attaching our 3 pieces. And then I had the bright idea, oh, you should go around the edges. And I'd already put the tape down, so of course I tore a little bit of the paper, but it's going to be all right. It just makes it easier if I can go around it without that top piece on. But it's all good. We're just going to hit it real quick with the black soot. And then once I get that other side and line that back up, and then boom, we're going to do this side, put a little of the wet glue, and that's done. And then now that I have it kind of lined up, what I'm going to do is tape everything exactly where I want it on the back and add the art glitter glue, giving me time to be able to move it around in case I don't put it down in the right spot. But I'm going to line up those little pencil marks so that way you don't see those. And then we're going to go ahead and get our scallop strip taped up and ready to be put down as well. And I know for a lot of people, they don't use both the art glitter glue and the tape runner. I use both because in case you have the crookeds like I do, where everything goes onto the page kind of wonky like, it gives you that little bit of wiggle room. So it allows you to be able to pull stuff up without tearing it up and be able to get it back down straight. And so for the photo, I am putting some fun foam on the back. And that'll give us just a little bit of time to not really have to worry about the adhesive back, because we'll put adhesive on the back later when we're done. Right now, I'm going to grab a few things to set up the around the photo. So this is the part where I realized that I didn't put the string around before I attached my 3 stripes. So I'm going to take the same idea and I'm just bringing it up to the top. Okay. So I'm putting some of the score tape down. I'm going to peel off the back. And I'd taken my nails off. So of course my little nubbies were having trouble taking the backs off. But I just grabbed and put my twine, my jute on one end and wrapped it around, and then on each of the ends I'm going to put a piece of the score tape and not peel off the back. I'm just covering up the score tape that was on the back and leaving it like that. So there you have that. And then I'm just going to put a little bit of the glue down in one spot to kind of keep it from lifting and making it bow really weird. And then I was like, okay, well, let me try and make a bow on here. So it'll be just like the other one. So once I get the length I like, I'm going to trim, tie a knot, and then make my little bow. And then I'm going to leave it hanging like that for now, but I do wind up, I believe, cutting it a little bit shorter once everything is put together. So I had on a tray over here to the side, a piece that I had cut of the ephemera, the bow chipboard, and some chipboard butterflies, and then I even have a puffy sticker butterfly, and I think I had a few other things. I think I grabbed some acetate pieces, which I'm trying to figure out where the protective layer is. A lot of times on the acetate sheets there's at least one side that has the protective film on it, and I thought it might have been on both sides, but it was only on the one. So I'm going to kind of move it around, take the plastic off, and lay it down where I think they should kind of go. And then I'm also going to lay out some of the hearts. And I'm just moving some stuff. Some foam stickers, some chipboard hearts. And so this really is the more fun part, because now you get to play around, move things around, figure out exactly where you want different elements to go. If you don't like something somewhere, you can move it around. So like in times like this, I will either put stuff on plastic. If it comes on plastic, then I actually cut it out while it's still on the piece of plastic so I can move it around. Sometimes I put it on top of parchment paper, or not parchment paper, wax paper, and it'll allow you to be able to pull it off and, you know, do all that. But in getting ready for everything, because I pretty much had everything where I think I wanted it to go, I decided to start gluing some things down. And after I glue down a few pieces, I'm going to go ahead and glue down the actual photos and then finish out laying everything down from there. On the acetate pieces, the part of the butterfly that I know is going to be hidden underneath the photo for the most part, that's where I put the glue. So that way I don't have to worry about it. You know, it's acetate. It's going to be, you know, it's see-through. So if you put any type of glue or something back there that doesn't dry clear, you're going to see it. But I still don't want to risk you seeing that it has something under there holding it down. So I always try and hide a little piece of it under something. And then whatever is hidden is what gets the glue. All right, so now that we taped and glued down our photo, I'm going to put down the other acetate butterfly. I put a little bit of glue just on the one little wing that's underneath the photo. For my journaling spot, I'm going to put some tape down and just put it right here on the side. And then I'm going to attach the butterfly, and I'm going to put a little bit of glue on it. Now, I didn't use any gesso, so technically I could have just put them straight down as far as the stickers, the chipboard, and stuff like that. But I still, a lot of times, like to use the wet glue because it just makes sure that nothing else comes off. Because there's nothing worse than doing a layout or giving a layout or a project to somebody and then having elements of it fall off. Not cool. So we're just going to go around and start gluing up everything. And I just had to fix that little wing. And then I'm going to put down the hearts. And these are chipboard hearts that I got from the chipboard sheet. And then I'm going to use the alphas that came in the scrappy bag. And part of the letters act like they're cursive. So those are the pieces that I use. So it would look like one word when I put it together. And then the same thing with the now. So now looks like it's handwritten, like all one word. And then you'll see here as I do then, the HEN looks like it's all connected. And I like that. And I do put a little bit of glue behind these because though they're sticky back, you can tell sometimes the sticky back just isn't that strong. So don't be afraid, you guys. Use your wet glue. You won't be sorry, and you'll know that the stuff isn't moving. Because once it's dry, this art glitter glue is the truth, okay? It don't move. It is strong. It laughed at my undo on another project. I'm telling you. All right. So once again, we're just gluing down the rest of these letters. So now my T is going to be over on my journaling spot, but you know, I really don't care because I'm probably not going to write that much anyway. Just a little something, just to briefly mention about the first photo, which is then, and then our now and what we're going through. And so since I didn't do a whole lot of mixed media, you know I gotta do some splatters, right? So you cover up your photo. That way you don't get a big old splat right on your photo. And I'm taking the Dina Wakley, the acrylic spray, I think it is. It's like a high gloss spray in the white. And I'm spraying, Lord, I just lost the word. I'm splattering that around the project. And it's just a subtle. It's not like it's like in your face, hitting you upside the head. But I like the white splatter and then the black. And I believe I leave it there. There's no other gold on this particular project. There's no other accent color. I like the blues and the pinks with just the splatters and the white and the black. I think it's perfect. It really is. It's perfect. I like how it turned out. So all the links to my little scrapbook store will be down in the more section below. Make sure you check them out. They have a Facebook page, and from that Facebook page you can get to the online crop that they did where they had all these challenges. And what's great is even once the challenges are over, you can still use these as inspiration to get motivated, because everybody gets in a little rut now and then, you know what I mean? So it's a really great space to be in. Like I said before on previous videos, check them out, check out the scrappy bags, and I'm telling you, you won't be disappointed. So thank you guys for joining. Make sure you hit the like, subscribe, and share button, and of course hit the little bell so that way you get notified whenever I upload new content. And thanks again, you guys, and I hope you have a great day.